There's a part of Highway 1 that absolutely needs to be traveled. This is in Northern California. What you're looking at down there is part of Jenner. The town that this is closest to is Jenner by the sea. And we'll take a look at that too. But this part of Highway 1 is just gorgeous. I can't film it while I'm driving because it's a very curvy road. But when we get to our destination, I will pull the camera out again. But I had to stop at this little pull-out next to the road because, dang, look at that view. Absolutely gorgeous. I have just arrived at Fort Ross.
Fort Ross was established by a Russian-American company in 1812 and was the first multicultural community north of the Spanish missions.
Get through this quickly. Those are some dark clouds coming in. I don't know about you, but I actually love this weather. Right, this is for us. this was the armory, actually. This looks like not a house for living in, but this is like the headquarters of the fort. Maintenance room. The head guy probably lived here. So this is the town of Jenner. There's Jenner by the Sea, or the Jenner Inn. That's actually where I stayed last night, over in this room right there. Highly recommend this inn. It's a beautiful little inn. I'll show you pictures of our room and just right here. Here at Jenner is the Russian River. So I'm about 10 miles down from where I just was at Fort Ross. This is the Russian River. And right down there, and we'll take a look at that down this way, but down here is where the river empties into the ocean, into the Pacific. And right now the tide is up, so the river is pretty high. In the evenings you see it going way down, and there's lots of shoreline that shows up here on the river, but right now the tide is up, so the river is flowing pretty good. Looks like they rent kayaks here. Now I did hear somebody talking about being able to catch quite a lot of fish out on the kayaks, so if you're a fisherman, that might be a good option for you. Right here is where the Russian River is entering the Pacific, and I'll get a closer look, but just wanted to show you some of the shoreline. Right over here is where we just were, in the small town of Jenner, by the Jenner Inn, where I was just parked. Right there. There's a little cafe there. You can just see the rooftop of the Jenner Inn. So that's where I just was, on the other side of the river. And now I am here. I took the Goat Rock exit. It's called Goat Rock State Beach, I think. But let's get a closer look of the river. There must be a lot of food either coming from the river or back flowing into the river from the ocean. I don't know if you can see them well with the camera, but look at all the seagulls. There is a ton of birds. Amazing. Look at all the birds over here on the shore. The other side, there's actually some seals over here hanging out, getting some rest, probably well fed. Look at all these birds. We are not that far from Bodega Bay, where the Alfred Hitchcock movie The Birds was filmed. So, do you want to get close? One kid can move thousands of birds. The sky is just thick with birds. Now, when you come to this beach, just remember, this beach has sleeper waves. It's very dangerous. You cannot swim, and it is not safe to get too close to the water because those sleeper waves will sneak up on you and take you down pretty quickly. So if you bring your kids, don't let your kids get too close to the water. This is just a little pull-out off the highway called Duncan's Cove. But I wanted to stop and take a quick video. That must be Duncan's Cove down there. Just had to stop because this is such a beautiful view. Oh, that's Duncan's Cove here, right there. And it looks like there's another pullout right over here. It's called Duncan's Lagoon, and you can park there where you probably see the cars right there parked. And it looks like there's a stairway down onto that little beach area. Be a nice place to go for a little picnic, but there's also little picnic tables right here, so you can just sit here, have a picnic, and enjoy the view. Here is a good reason why coastal housing in California is not the best idea. It falls into the ocean. House on the end looks like it's on its last leg. And you gotta figure, all these rocks out here were probably once land. California moves quite a bit. I'm at the Tides, and if you remember the Alfred Hitchcock movie, The Birds, this is where it was filmed. Basically, this building here was one of the original buildings. And apparently they have a restaurant here now, so let's go in and maybe try some of their clam chowder. There's a seal out here. I've just caught a fish, and the seagulls are trying to take it away from him.